Hello everyone and welcome to today's yoga session with me, Amona. I'm so excited that you're joining me today. We have a special today. We're looking at unleashing your inner warrior, looking at the different warrior poses that are being explored so much and so often in yoga practices. You have your warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3. We will look at what the difference is, how they look like, and we'll also bring in the often forgotten humble warrior, actually one of my favorite poses actually. So we will spend about half an hour together today. We'll start with a warm-up, definitely, couple of sun salutations, and then we'll get into looking at these warriors and having a nice flow together. I'm currently sitting on a block to start my warm-up today, but you can also sit on a pillow or just on the floor if you prefer. And also feel free to prep some water that you have nearby. And also, if you like some of your favorite relaxing, calming or uplifting music in the background, why not? So make yourself super comfortable and then we'll get started. So for today, for this session, I'm starting in a seated position, feeling the ground underneath the sit bones and getting settled, getting mind and body ready for a nice exercise. Gradually deepening the breath. Breathing in through the nose, and to start with, a few nice long exhales, sighing it out. Nice. We like to get very active today, and I'm gonna start by rolling the shoulders back a few times, bringing the arms in or not, depending on how active you already feel. Nice circles, bringing awareness to the shoulder joints. Also rolling forward. And then I'm actually going to do some circles with my full arms, just seeing to reach forward and see how far back and out to the side we can reach. Great, I'm bringing the arms in and allow some gentle twists, rotating the upper body. Bringing in some spinal movement there, and bringing attention to any area of the body where you just feel something. Good or bad, no judgment, just feel. Tune in here. We keep it nice and active. I want to reach up and out to the side. Really, really good to lengthen out. And then I'm just going to reach across and out to the side, following the fingertips with my eyes to look into different directions. Great. As we bring the arms across, I'm going to bring one arm across and just gently pull here. Warming up our arms, other side. I'm bringing one arm overhead, behind, and gently grab here. Lifting the chin here is quite nice, makes breathing easier. And change sides. Great. If you come back to this video again another time, you can of course choose to do a little bit of a longer warm-up or a longer centering part before we get into moving, but I'll take it one step further from here for today and go on to all fours. Warm up the body even more here, bringing my block just out to the side. So on all fours, I'm actually going to go to my mat, where you can see. Starting with the shoulders underneath, the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, rocking front and back. Feel free to take it step by step, gradually making these rocks front to back, a bit bigger. The toes can be tucked or flat on the floor, your choice. Tune in with all the different joints in the body that you're activating here. Wrist joints, shoulders again, hip joints, knees. Great. Okay, then I'm coming back to neutral and look at activating the spine a bit more through a few rounds of cat and cow. So you're looking up, you're inhaling for your cow pose, lifting the chin, and you would tuck the chin in and push the floor away for the cat. But this is your cat and cow, and you go by the rhythm of your own breath. Ideally nice and long breaths to consciously move to round and arch here a few times. Good. Coming back to neutral, wiggle out any tension you might have here in the lower back or in the hips. Feels quite nice. You can push back from here towards the feet and bring the knees a bit more towards the outside edges of the mat. And this is your child's pose. The child's pose can be very active if you reach forward as far as you can, or you rest the arms on the floor for a less active child's pose. But you can always come back to this pose, resting the head on the floor, even if that's available, if you needed a little break in between. Okay, so child's pose is really lovely as well to reconnect to your deep breaths. Close the eyes for a few seconds in between if you like, right? Okay, and then from here, we'll tuck the toes and have a look at downward facing dog, first one of today's session. Sending the hips towards the ceiling. Push the floor away. And you can pedal out the feet. You can have the first downward dog very active. Don't need to be static. Really get nice and familiar and comfortable as we go along with this downward facing dog. Trying to shift the weight towards the back of the body so that you don't stress the wrists too much. And then from here we bend the knees and look forward, and very slowly making our way to the front of the mat, bending the knees as much as you like, coming forward and just having a nice deep forward fold. I'm just going to show you from the front as I'm just folding forward, and you can just sway a little bit from side to side if you like. Grab opposite elbows. Shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. Making sure there's no tension in the neck. All right, and then from here at the front of the mat, I'm bending my knees even more before I roll up the spine, one vertebra at a time. The head is the last thing to come up. You really want to go slow there so you don't get lightheaded. And I'm taking the opportunity to do a few more shoulder rolls. Okay, so now we will do just a couple of sun salutations to get the body moving, and then we'll look at our different warriors today. Coming to the front of the mat, the big toes can be touching, heels can be slightly apart, just looking out in front of you, or look into your laptop, tablet device. Rolling the shoulders back. Lovely, lovely tall mountain pose. And we get started connecting movement with breath. Inhale to raise the arms up overhead. Looking up. Exhale to fold forward. Nice and soft. Bending the knees. Inhale to halfway lift. Lengthen the spine out. And then place the hands down on the exhale and step back. And lower the body down. Knees, chest and chin. Keeping the elbows close to the body. Use an inhale to come forward to a low cobra pose. And use an exhale to push back into downward facing dog. Using the opportunity here to reconnect with your deep breaths. Adjust, wiggle out where you like. Bending the knees, look to the front of the mat. Walk or step forward to meet the hands. Halfway lift. And then exhale, folding forward, let the head be heavy. Inhale to rise all the way up, take the arms with you. And exhale brings you back, mountain pose. Second one, inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands down. Step back into plank. Lower the knees down, chest and chin. Inhale for upward dog or cobra. I'm doing cobra right now. And then exhale, push all the way back. Downward facing dog. Fantastic. So now we've set the foundation. You might already feel quite warm. I'm super warm today. And we are continuing with our flow. Looking at our warriors today. Before we do that, we just finish our second sun salutation. Bending both knees, looking forward. Step or walk back to the front of the mat. It's a halfway lift again. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising up. Nice and slow. Exhale brings you back into mountain pose. Great job. So looking at the front of the mat or looking out in front of you, I will keep my right leg in front and I will step back with the left foot. Okay. And the left foot is pointing out a little bit diagonally. You want to have the whole foot on the floor and we're bending that front knee. So the difference between a warrior one and a high lunge is that the back foot is just pointing outwards rather than in the same direction as the front foot. And here's where warrior one pose is actually very challenging pose. You might see that you want to bring your hips quite diagonal, but the challenge is to try and keep the hips square. Both hips want to point in the same direction, and this is where you really need good activation in your back leg. You need to root that back leg down. You can have the arms reaching up. It's your beautiful, strong warrior one pose. So very often it might happen that you just forget about that back leg and let it flop or let it collapse in. Bring back that attention and draw the back hip forward. All right. So now from warrior one, we will open up to come to warrior two. Okay. You bring the arms out and the right arm and the right foot are now facing in the same direction. You're looking over your right fingertips, shoulders are nice and down. And from here, also check in with your back foot. The back foot can now come parallel to the short edge of your mat. Fantastic. So this is a lovely, lovely pose to reset again, Have deep breaths here. And we can actually bring in also another warrior variation where you reach forward and then reach back with that arm. You're coming into reverse warrior. You feel a good stretch in your front side body. And you can see if you can look towards your upper fingertips, makes the pose more open. So you try to not do this, but actually open the chest towards the ceiling, look up, makes the pose more open. The bottom hand is just gently resting on the back leg. We can windmill the arms back to come back into our warrior two. And then from here, I will change the position of my back leg. I want to rotate. And now I'm actually in a high lunge. Okay, so now in my high lunge, both feet are facing in the same direction, out in front. And I really feel the activation here in the quads. Now I'm bringing my hands in front of the chest. Press the hands together so you have some tension in the arms. We can adjust the stance between the feet if we like, absolutely no problem. Now I want to transition into warrior three. Shifting my body weight forward and get ready for the balance. So warrior three is a balance. You balance on the front leg. Whenever you are ready, shifting the weight into the front leg, and then when you're ready to lift off, okay, and then give that a little bit of a go. Fly in here, upper body is tilting forward so that the back leg can fly a little bit. You can choose to have the hands in front of the chest or explore other arm positions if you want to have a little bit of a play here. Never stop breathing, yeah. In fact, remind yourself of those deep breaths as they help you through these balances. Great. You can choose to bring it all the way back into a high lunge. Let's actually do that. Safe landing. Enjoy the wobbles. Fantastic work. So I want to bring back the memory here. We can open up again. Yeah. Bringing the back leg again parallel to the short edge of the mat. This is your warrior two. Great. And then from here, I'm going to just windmill my arms down, rotate the back foot again, frame the front foot, place the hands onto the mat, send the leg back, high plank, and then knees, chest, and chin to go down. Keep the elbows in. Cobra pose here. And then all the way back, downward dog. Fantastic work. So this is now our right side done. I'm going to change my position. You can stay how you are, just so that you see always my open side. We are in downward facing dog. Have a moment of reconnecting with the deep breaths. And then we bend both knees. Walk forward. A halfway lift. Crown of the head is pointing out in front. And exhale to fold. Inhale. Come all the way up. Take the arms with you. Exhale. Back into mountain pose. Good. We'll just do the same now on the other side. Okay? So now I want to keep my left foot out in front. I'm stepping back with my right. You choose the stance between the legs, a bit more shorter or a bit wider. So now the right foot just points out a little bit diagonally for your warrior one. Bend the front knee. Try to bring the hips square. Really activate this. Have a strong back leg. Root the heel down into the floor. Great job. Let's open up. Open up to warrior two. Shoulders nice and down. You're now looking over your left fingertips. In your warrior two, check back in with your back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Just reaching forward a little bit and then bringing it back into reverse warrior. Reach up and away, inhales to lengthen, exhales to see if you can open up the chest towards the ceiling. We windmill back, warrior two. Great job. From here, rotating the back foot, we come into a high lunge. Great. Now adjusting, getting ready, preparing for your warrior three balance. Whenever you're ready, have that strong leg working for you, exploring this balance. Choose any kind of arm variation that helps you to keep your balance or that you maybe haven't tried in a long time. Keeping those deep breaths active. And then after a few rounds, we'll bring it back. Safe landing in your high lunge. We're bringing it back into warrior two. Good one. And then windmilling it down, framing the front foot, send the leg back, we'll come to high plank. You can choose knees, chest and chin, or if you feel quite strong, going through a low plank transition. Upward facing dog or cobra here, push the floor away, and an exhale. Downward facing dog, great job. Okay, now stay where you are. So I promised you we would also look at humble warrior, okay? Good, so let's have a look at the humble warrior straight from here. Let's have the right foot come off the floor and place the right foot in between the hands at the front of the mat. Upper body is traveling up, slow and controlled. This is your high lunge. Opening up into warrior two. Check in with your back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. And from here, I'm just bringing my hands behind the back. I'm interlacing the fingers behind the back, gently pulling away, which makes the chest very open, opens the heart. Let's lift the chin as well. And for your humble warrior, you want to inhale and lift up. And then exhale, makes you bow down into your humble warrior. You can think of the shoulder wanting to meet the knee. If that's available for you, the shoulder might actually be able to rest on the knee or on the thigh. Explore where there's space for you. Press both feet into the floor. Don't forget about the back leg. Staying active, staying engaged. Beautiful. Have a deep inhale through the nose to gently lift back up. The arms will help you. Right, and then we are back. We can reset to come to a warrior two. And then maybe let's step the feet together at the front of the mat. Great job. I'm coming straight to the other side, okay? So we are going to start by having a high lunge on the left side this time. The left leg is out in front. High lunge first. Staying active with that back leg. Open up warrior two. Shoulders nice and down. Now I'm bringing the arms behind the back, gently pulling away, lifting the chin. And an exhale, lets us come down. Bowing down, shoulder tries to meet the knee. Staying connected with your deep breaths. Fantastic work. Deep inhale through the nose. Lift you back up. Can reset into our warrior two. And then we're bringing the focus towards the left foot, looking down. We're going to step the feet together at the front of the mat. Great job. Fantastic work. You're back in your mountain pose. Let's do one sun salutation to land in a seated position. Coming back to the front of the mat. Mountain pose. Inhale to raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, halfway lift from here. Lengthen the spine. Exhale to come down. Step back. Shoulders over wrists is where you are the strongest. Knees, chest and chin, or low plank transition. Inhale for up dog or cobra pose. Push the floor away. Exhale for a downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide in your down dog. Push the palms into the floor. And then from here, let's have the knees rest on the floor. Sit back. Bring the knees towards the outside edges of the mat. And enjoy well-deserved child's pose. Nice one. And then very gently come back into a seated position from here. And we will finish off together with a very short finishing stretch. For that, I'm bringing my feet together and have the knees fall out to the side. Doesn't matter if your knees are higher or if they reach a little bit lower. Want to roll the shoulders back, sit tall as you can, grow through the crown of the head. And then with an exhale, just lean forward a little bit, leading with the chest. We'll try and keep the spine nice and long. So if I show you from the side, I'm sitting tall. And then I'm just leaning forward, just a little bit, still with a nice long spine. Bringing the focus into the area where you feel something, which is probably here, in the hip area, in the hip flexors. We're imagining that we're breathing into that space. Releasing, adjusting. I'm just pushing my feet a little bit further front, away from my body. There's more space between hip bones and feet. So I might grab gently on the shins to adjust and again sit tall. And then from here, there's opportunity to round forward. And my baby just woke up from her nap. Let's let her in. Do you want to say hello? I think it's perfect timing, right? It's perfect timing. Hey, Poopy. And we can then sit and say thank you very much for doing a little bit of yoga with us. Huh? Yeah, we had a look at lots of warriors while you were asleep. Enjoy your cool down, and we'll see each other again very, very soon. Thank you so much, and have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Bye.